Hello everyone. Hope you guys are doing great. In my today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a company called Tembo Global Industries. We are going to go through their recent year-end result. We'll go through the con call summary and understand the main important points, especially their progress on the expansion plan, whether it is progressing well or not. So that's going to be the main point. But before I get to that, I'll again give you a brief about what this company does, right? So Tempo Global Industry is mainly into engineering solutions and EPC at this point of time. But they do still have their legacy business, which is in textile. But the management is saying that their plan is to demerge that business to create value for the engineering part. And at the same time, they are foraying into defense sector by manufacturing arms and ammunition and into solar plant on power generation. So we'll go through all this. So currently, the businesses which are operational and contributing to the revenue as of FY26 are only the legacy textile industry and the engineering solution part. If you look at the engineering solution part, they mainly manufacture this heavy duty clamp fabrication, which is used in construction, manufacturing, transportation, in refineries like MEP, HVAC, and fire and safety. So this is their main product, and along with they do some EPC projects also. So this is their main business. If you look at their Q4 FY26 revenue, it grew by almost 26% to 346 crore. And PAT was up by almost 84% to 30 crores. So they got good operating leverage. And if you look at the whole year number, also they grew decent by around 47% to where the revenue grew to around 1,090 crore. And PAT was up by almost 72% to 98 crores. And they got the operating leverage because there was improvement in margin. If you look at their EBITDA margin year on year, right, it increased by almost 1% from 12.3 to 13.1. And if you look at the PAT margin, it improved from 7.4% to 9%. And management was very clear, right, that the growth is coming from the engineering division. The legacy business is as it is, nothing much more. They're not even investing further in it. The current growth for this year is completely come from the engineering division. And if in terms of order book, if we see, right, so they said the current order book that they have is around 1,348 crores, which gives them the growth over the medium term. At the same time, they have a bidding pipeline of around 2,200 crores in pipeline. So they said for the medium term, they are all quite good. And obviously, I'll give you the update on the defense and the solar plant later. And if you look at their guidance, right, so the management said that in FY27, they're going to grow their revenue to 1,600 crores, which is around 45 percent growth in terms of revenue. So let's see how they're looking. First, obviously, is the growth from the main engineering sector. At the same time, the defense sector, right, where they secured their Q like the how to say the licenses and everything, and are in the process of setting up the whole factory. It's going to start the manufacture by end of FY27. It's going to contribute to some part of the revenue, which will be around 5 to 10%, and around 5 to 10%. In terms of PAT margin, this business is going to give them a good business, PAT margin of around 30 to 35% in this division. So, which is quite a good sign because management said at the back of this, right, their overall PAT margin might improve to around 10 to 12%. So that is what it is. And if you look in the terms of production, so they in phase one, they're going to, manufacture arm. In phase two, they're going to manufacture ammunition. And they're saying that for the next 3 years, whatever they are going to manufacture, right, they already have a complete buyback from the European counterpart. So it's not like, they're setting up this factory, then they're going to manufacture, and then they're going to try to sell it to someone. No, if the whole order for the next 3 years is already guaranteed and already in the buyback. So this is going to help them improve their overall margin. And if you look at the solar business, right? So the commissioning is going to start from Q3 of FY27. It's going to start contributing, which is going to help them reach their target of around 47%. And in terms of their engineering part in their Vasai plant, which they have, they've increased their capacity to 100,000 tons per annum. But obviously, this is going to increase, even though they've installed in terms of utilization, it will happen in phases. So we have to wait and see what will be the utilization in the Q1 of FY27. So this is how they're going to reach the target of around 1,600 crores, which they have targeted around 45% of the growth. And it looks manageable, right? So when I was listening to the con call, there was one interesting thing. because one of the person came and asked, right, sir, what is your plan for FI, for 2030? Because there are a lot of companies which are coming and giving a target for 2030, right? That they're going to grow their revenue by so and so, the profit by so and so. So the management said that they have a target to grow the top line by almost 20,000, to 20,000 crores for FI, for, in by 2030. So when I heard these numbers, I was like, in a bit shocked, right? Because currently, if you see their revenue, it's only 1,090 crores. And in 4 years, if they have to increase their revenue to 20,000 crores, they have to literally double their revenue every year and grow by a CAGR of 107%, which, uh, if you look, if you, try to make sense of it, it literally looks impossible. And for me, I was like, okay, let me listen to the whole call and see whether they give any further guidelines or how they're going to achieve that. So, and I was not surprised because one analyst came on the call is like, okay, sir, you are giving the guidance for 20,000 crore top line by 2030, right? So how are you going to achieve that? Because currently, whatever expansion plan is currently going on, that doesn't look sufficient to achieve that number. So what the management said, right? That is their target. They will try to achieve that. And in terms of how they will achieve and what are they going to do further, they're going to update year on year. So for me, that answer was like more of a, I wouldn't say that they're trying to lie, but they're trying to do their best to achieve. But I think it was a bit of a more of a, because if someone is planning to increase their guidance, their revenue to 20,000 from current 1,000 crores, right? There should be something in plan, right? I don't know whether they are keeping something with them and they're going to reveal it later. That we have to wait and see. Because if I, when I read other companies' result, like for example, if I talk about Sky Gold, they have a clear plan how are they going to achieve their revenue growth. So that is actually quite clear. So over here, that clarity was not given. But at the same time, the target that they have given is, I would say, if I think from my mind, it's completely impossible. But let's see how do they progress, and in case if they are not able to achieve that or even get close to that, right, I think it's going to be a problem for them because one thing we have seen in the in the stock market, whenever a company comes, they give a guidance, and if they're not able to achieve close to that, it's going to be a problem for them. So I hope, especially for the investors and who have invested, the management is able to execute that. And if management is able to execute that, it's going to be really beneficial for the shareholders. But we have to wait and see, right? Because the target is humongous. Because like they have to literally grow their revenue by 107% every 2 years. And if they miss their target in the, in any year, then this, the even, it becomes even more impossible. But we have to wait and see. But in terms of if we look at the leaving that 20,000 crore revenue target inside, in terms of the overall business, it looks quite good because they are confident to grow their number by, almost revenue by almost 45% with better improvements in margin. And we can clearly see that, right? Because the engineering division is growing, the defense will start contributing the some amount, the solar plant will also start contributing certain amount, and the defense segment will especially help them improve their overall margin. So let's see, I'll keep an eye on Q1 FY27, and let's see if there's any progress on the 20,000 top line crore target. I'll definitely keep you guys posted. And if you like this video, please do hit like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you and God bless you.